I'm Beth Ann.
What's up? I'm Ayla.
This is Let's Talk BL, a boys love podcast.
Welcome back to the podcast. It is Sunday Series Sunday, that day of the week where we talk all things one series and one series only. So today we're talking about a long requested show. This was the very first Series Sunday request we ever got, actually.
Interesting.
Very first. And I watched this show based on this request.
Yeah.
And you did not.
No.
And I immediately was like, oh my God.
I started it, but sometimes if it doesn't catch me, because I watch every show that's on currently, then I just didn't stick with it.
Yeah, so this was a request, and I had already watched the other version of this.
Yes.
And so then when I watched this show, which is 2 Moons 2, we're talking about 2 Moons 2, right? You forced me to watch 2 Moons.
Yes.
And then I watched 2 Moons 2, and I was like, listen, I'm going to preface this by saying it's going to be really hard not to compare and contrast during this episode.
I think you can.
But this one is so much better. Wildly better. I was like, oh my God. I was blown away by how much better I liked the way that all of these actors played these characters. So yes, this was requested all the way back in season 1 of the podcast. All the way back in season 1, we got a DM from a follower that was like, I'd love for you guys to talk about 2 Moons 2. And we stayed away from it for obvious reasons. And then we recently got another request to do old shows, and they listed a few, and this was one of them. And I was like,
so
you know what? Let's do it. And let's talk about
It is beloved.
Right.
Despite all the drama, and if you're a new fan, feel free to Google.
You can Google it.
But
here's what I will say about this. I will forever support these actors and the work that they did in this show. This is the only time you will ever hear me say this. Watch it illegally. The production company behind this show should not receive money for this. None of the actors that acted in this are still under that production company.
Right.
They're not seeing the royalties from this when you're watching it, right? So that's that. And I don't feel weird about saying that. I'll be honest with you.
This company still exists, right?
It does.
They came back.
Because they came out with 2 Moons 3, The Ambassador. Yes.
Ridiculous. Lord of mercy. This is the problem with BL world, is that there's always it's like Voldemort. There's always still that little piece hanging on to what was, and
again,
it will come.
If you're curious, you can Google it. We're not going to talk about it. But what we are going to talk about is the fantastic job that all of these actors did, even though you don't like this one better, but we'll get into that.
I feel like they're two separate shows. I can't compare the two. Mainly because I just have such a close love for the actors in 2 Moons. Honestly, I don't remember anything about the story in 2 Moons. I remember bits and pieces. So
spoiler, it's the same. It is episodes 1 and 2 of 2 Moons.
Right. And
that they made it the whole show.
To that point, I watched 2 Moons for the actors because it was when I had gotten into Kim Cop, and I was like, I need to watch all the Kim Cop. And so I did. And I was like, that was a show I watched. And I was like, cool, love the actors. And that's why I didn't really get excited about 2 Moons 2, because I knew that it was part of it, even though you were saying 2 Moons 2 expanded on 2 Moons a whole lot. But it's similar to Boys Over Flowers, right? I've watched Meteor Garden, and I tried to start watching Boys Over Flowers, but it was really hard because I was like, I've seen this story before. But you were saying F4 was much better than
F4. I really enjoyed F4. So I have watched all of them. I have watched every iteration of Boys Over Flowers. Boys Over Flowers was my first K-drama I ever watched. And I really liked the storyline. So that's the thing is, even 2 Moons, even though I think 2 Moons 2 is better, I love that storyline. I really, really like the story.
They definitely did it better in 2 Moons 2.
Yeah. And so that's why with 2 Moons 2, I was so excited because I liked the story so much. And all of a sudden, here I am getting more of it. An expanded world of it.
Much more expanded.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get to the nuts and bolts, and then we'll talk more about the show.
Yes.
It came out in 2019, which is like 20 years ago.
This is a million years ago. This show is a million years old.
I mean, props to Jung for like sticking out and like becoming the success. I feel like he's like would you say he's like the most successful artist of all of these? Maybe 9 too.
I think it depends on how you look at like what is successful.
Maybe
and what
popularity,
right? Like current popularity, yeah, but like a year ago, you would have said that about Pavel in terms of like popularity numbers. So like I don't know I don't know that I would like say some are more successful than others.
Right. It's 12 episodes. It ends on a cliffhanger. Lord have mercy.
It does. You can watch it on YouTube.
Yes. Okay. It stars as YO, Earth/Din.
Yes.
Unclear is what we call him now.
Middle Earth. He does go by Din now, but because he was Earth when I watched this show and when we watched this show,
right?
I will probably call him that throughout this series Sunday because that is what I'm used to. Also, I'll be honest, I have met him and he introduced himself as Earth to me and I called him Earth to his face. So I feel like I'm okay in calling him Earth.
Did we ask him in that interview about this?
No, we just let him do his thing.
We were just like, introduce yourself?
Yeah, so it's funny. In the interview, he introduces himself as Din. But to like me, to us, to our faces, when he walked up, he was like, I'm Earth.
Interesting.
And then I talked to him after because I was such a big fan, right? And I was like trying to like get a selfie with him.
Yeah.
And like...
Are we friends with Earth?
I mean, maybe that's the situation. I don't know. Anyways, what I'm trying to do is defend myself for. I would probably call him Earth throughout this whole series.
Yeah. I feel like that's what people know him as in this specifically.
Right.
As Panna or Peepaw, we have Ben.
Oh my gosh.
We have Ming, played by Jung. Kit, played by Nine. Fourth, played by Pavel. And Beam, played by Dome.
Indeed, we do.
What a cast.
A cast.
A
cast if there ever was a cast.
I mean, Junmai Katong Fa, clearly the best ensemble cast.
Sure.
But this is close second.
Yes. Okay, I watched a lot of behind the scenes content from this, and these boys together.
They did a lot of stuff together.
Really fun.
Yeah.
And like Ben and Jung are still little buddies and they're next door neighbors and they work out together.
It's cute.
It's so cute.
I love it. I know I was very sad that Jung was in the hospital when Nine's boy band came to Thailand. I was like, I bet he wanted to be there.
Oh my gosh. Okay, synopsis.
Yes.
YO is accepted to Kantapat University in the Faculty of Sciences. There, he re-encounters Panna, a second-year boy he's long been in love with, though he had never managed to talk to him. When YO has the chance to become the moon of his faculty, the two are thrust together as Panna, himself the former moon of the medical faculty. Yeah. Must supervise the freshmen participating in the competition. Despite a scathing first encounter, the two slowly get closer and closer. YO gets to know Panna's friends, Beam and Kit. Kit, who Ming, YO's best friend, forms an unlikely bond with, and who he begins to court despite Kit's initial distaste. That's a pretty good synopsis.
Yeah.
Actually, some of the grammar is a little off and like weird, but it's pretty good. I rate this one like a solid like 7 or 8 out of 10. It's Okay.
Where do you even start?
Where to start? First of all, okay.
We should go by couple, maybe?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so let's do YO and Peepaw.
Okay.
Because this is where 2 Moons 2 blows 2 Moons out of the water. Now, I say this as a complete and utter Baz simp, right?
100%.
Like, I would die for Baz. I would jump in front of a moving train for Baz. I would jump in front of a bullet for Baz. I
mean, when you have The Shame of Thailand playing.
Right. Like.
Go to Twitter if you want to look up what that means.
Basically, here's where. Now, again, I love Earth. I met Earth and I like kind of freaked out a little bit. And I was like asking everyone, I was like, do you guys think it would be okay if I like take a selfie with him? Now, mind you, we're at like my event where like I was the boss in charge, and I was like, do you guys think it's okay?
And it was the last one of the day, so we were like, make a fool of yourself.
And like
we both were like, let's pick a boy that we like and take a selfie with him.
Well, no, I had this plan from the beginning. It wasn't that you just like were like, I like him, I'm gonna take a selfie with that random boy. But I was like counting down the minutes until I got to talk to Earth, because I love 2 Moons too.
Yeah.
And like I asked one of our friends who was like staffing for us that day, I was like, do you think I can take a picture with him? And she was like, yeah, I got you. And she like set up a whole like situation for me, because we had these gifts we were giving everyone that day as like a thank you. And at the time, like she had been handing the gifts as they left to make sure they got their gifts. And she was like, you give him his, it gives you, like, then you talk to him. She was like, I set it to the side for you. She was like, no one's going to do it. She had, like, devised the plan, because before, so like, cute. When he first walked in, I was like, it's Renee. So shout out Renee, because this wouldn't have happened without Renee. Shout out Renee for so many things. But she was like, Ayla. She, like, the whole time we're interviewing them, all I can imagine is she's, like, devising this plan. I don't know how she came up with it, because it was before the interview even started. I was like, Renee, I'm going to have to take a picture. I was like, I need a selfie with him. And so then after when it was over, she's like, I figured it out. She's like, I got you. I figured it out. She's like, you give him the gift. Anyways, this is all to say I really love Earth.
I love it.
And he also was the sweetest boy in the whole world.
So nice.
But Baz, I'd happily die for. Now, that being said, what really elevates YO and Peapod and 2 Moons 2 is Ben's performance.
Yeah.
Not that Earth did not do a good job. Earth did a magnificent job. He was a wonderful YO. He was perfect. Yeah. He was great. Benjamin Brasier.
Did you imprint on him like the minute you saw him, or was it his performance through the entire show?
It was his performance throughout the show.
Okay.
Because when I watched 2 Moons, I really left that show being like, I don't really want YO and Peapod to be together. This is just like, because I like YO so much,
right?
This is why I want Peapod to be with him. But I never really liked Peapod. I'm watching this show, and like, of course, like Ben is so attractive. Like Benjamin Brasier is beautiful. So sure, like that didn't hurt.
Yeah.
But like I'm watching it, and Ben made me like Peapod. Like I really do think he did such a good job with this character, and like the character's evolution of like this F-boy becoming soft, right? And like you learn he was never an F-boy. He was more of like a mean boy. I don't know. He's like a popular boy because he had also, spoiler, been in love with YO this whole time. He just didn't know it was YO.
Yeah, I love the flashbacks to the high school scenes where they're like,
and so
I like this boy.
What I love so much about this is that when that moment happens, when he sees him, right? And I love Beam and Kit are like, bro, you gotta just go look. Like, you gotta just go look. Like, they're so psyched to have him go see YO, who is this boy that he's been in love with.
Yeah.
But when he sees him, he immediately has this moment of like, oh my God, it's him, which is one of my favorite tropes in BL. Like, Together the series does it best of like, I finally found that boy.
The like heart flutter, they like put their hand over their chest and like I found
of the realization that like there's this boy that I've been loving. Not the heart flutter, but like
no, I know,
not
but like
the initial
I feel like
heart flutter.
It's all the same. Like you see the boy across the room and you're like, that's the boy I love.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about finding that boy again that you had already liked.
I see.
Yes. Because again, Together the series and 2 Moons are the two places that you get this. Where it's like, I've been in love with this boy before, and like, I finally found him. Like, that is the best scene in BL.
Like, searching your whole life.
Yes. In Together the series, I maintain that's the best scene in all of BL. Yeah. I don't care. Call me out if you want, but that's my opinion. And so in 2 Moons 2, this is a very close second, because you see him like, he's like, oh my God. And you see him like go soft, and he realizes, but the nice thing about the way they did it this time, and the way that Ben has played this character, is you watch Peapod has already started to get soft for YO.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just that this is like a nostalgic crush. It was that he actually likes him now and who he is now and this person that he's gotten to know now.
Yeah, like he doesn't immediately pounce on him.
Right, but it's not really about the pouncing. It's about it's not that he only likes him because this is his boy he used to like in high school. It's because like he liked him for who he was now already. And that just helped. Basically, of like realizing this is the boy that I've like liked this whole time. And then you see him like kind of atone for his mistakes where he like, he panics and he like tells his friends and he's like, I was like too rough on him. I don't think he's ever going to like me. And you know, this is my other favorite thing about Peepaw and Two Moons too, is you know that he kind of has a crush on Wyo the whole time because that very first night, right after Kit gets Wyo's phone number in his phone, they go out and get drunk, the Wild Doctor gang does.
Yes.
And he drunk dials Wyo.
I love
Peepaw does.
Yeah, yeah.
So Peepaw is interested in Wyo before he knows who Wyo is. And so it's like a really nice, like, it makes their feelings really organic and believable. Yeah. And Ben really, really makes you like Peepaw and makes you... Now, is he frustrating? Yes. At the end, oh my God.
Yeah.
But he makes you, like, sympathize with him where, like, he's a real person. He's not just this thing that, like, oh, Wyo wants to be with him, and so now I'm happy for them, which is how I felt watching Two Moons.
I love the classic, he puts on glasses, he takes glasses off. I have no clue who this boy is.
Right. I mean, listen, to Peepaw's credit, this kind of makes sense because the last time he saw him, he was a freshman in high school, apparently. So, like...
Well, this says that Panna is only a second year, so they
I know, which is weird because in the show, it, like, is not explained that way.
Oh, interesting.
But I bet that's coming from the book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because this novel was really popular.
Because don't they say the moon from the year before?
Right.
So he would have been a freshman the year before. Because you're a moon your freshman year.
The high school stuff doesn't connect then. Because, like, the way they talk about him, they're like, oh, that little boy, that, like...
I mean, maybe this is a full, like, you're 2 months younger than me and you're my nong.
Yeah, but I mean, he's obviously a full year younger than him.
Yeah. But you know how the Thai love to exaggerate the age difference. Yeah, these two, I love that trope of, like, the rough boy going soft. And I liked the teasing. I actually thought it was very cute.
I thought it was cute, too. Because it wasn't bullying.
It's never malicious. It's never, he's almost more frustrating Wyo than he is, like, teasing him and picking on him. He's just
he's, like, teasing him in a sweet way, kind of. He's, like... It's a situation where he's like, oh, okay, this boy's real easy to rile up. Yeah. But the nice thing is when he realizes he's gone too far, he always, like, he'll go and buy him his own pink milk. I love
that pink milk scene where he's mad because he realizes that Peepaw bought pink milk for everybody. And so he, like, throws it away. And then Peepaw gives him money to, like, buy ice cream.
Right, because he's like, oh, well, because he sees him, he throws away. He's like, I don't want this if you bought it for everyone. Or no, he goes to pay him back because they've gone to the stand together and Peepaw has bought it. And he pays him back and he's like, no, I don't want you paying for me if it's something that you bought for everyone. I can pay for myself. Oh. Right? He's, like, so jealous, lime green jello. And, yes, and then Peepaw is like...
I love it.
Why don't you take this and get yourself ice cream so then you have a special snack that no one else got and you're special. And then that's the nice thing about, like, it's like a fun full circle moment because after Peepaw realizes that it's Wyo from high school, he buys him a pink milk, but somebody else brings it to him because Peepaw is, like, weird and shy about it.
Of course.
And he's like, oh, did he buy it for everyone? He's like, no, he brought it just for you. Yeah. And it's, like, the cutest thing in the whole world. And I love Peepaw and Wyo. I really love the whole, like, helping him find, like, a place to practice piano. Yeah.
I love the confession scene. The moment where they finally realize, like, he's the boy from high school and, like, we've talked about this before. I don't know if we've talked about it on the podcast, but we've talked about it, that whole, like, the classic K-drama trope where he, like, runs to his boy. That never happens in Thai dramas and you really want it to sometimes. It happens in this one where, like, I mean, they're, like, 5 feet away from each other, but, like, it's still, like, a cute moment where they've, like, come back from their beach frolic because, you know, you have your awakening at your beach frolic.
Yes.
And then he has the Post-it note or, like...
Well, yes, because they've had a fight. So at the beach frolic, they had a fight.
Right.
They got in a fight and he was, like... And Wyo is like, I can't believe you still, basically he's like, I can't believe you still don't know, or like whatever. Right. Like you haven't remembered me, like all this stuff. And so yes, Ben, Peepaw, in my dreams it's Ben, and it's me. No. No, but like I'm not kidding. But like no, but I'm not kidding. He's like, where's Wyo? Because Wyo's been driven home by Pavel.
Yes, his love rival.
Yes, the love rival.
I do love Fourth as the love rival because he is assertive, but he also knows his place. Like he knows he doesn't have a chance.
But sometimes he does go a little too far. Like, calm down, bro.
He's trying to be his friend.
Sure. But so yes, then Peepaw runs to Wyo and he's like, basically he teases him again a little bit about it, and Wyo's like, oh, so you knew the whole time. And yes, then he pulls the note from the gift out of his wallet. He's kept it this whole time. That's like, so I think you're really special.
It's so good. Okay, let's wrap up talking about these two. The way this show ends on a cliffhanger, Lord have mercy. These two.
Also, like, it's not Wyo's fault that, like, what's his name? Evil Boy, who's evil in everything, by the way. This boy's evil in everything. Insists upon being evil.
Yes. Here's the question. If you met this cute boy and he took you back to his room and his room was full of photos of you, even though you like kind of
knew he had a crush on you because he gave you that little present in high school that said I like you.
But they ever talk in high school? Did they actually know each other in high school, or was this like
it was like admiring from a distance, yes. For both of them, because remember, Peepaw equally likes Wyo.
Of course, yes. This is a classic Jung Dunk from Star in Your Heart.
Star in My Mind.
Star in My Mind. Oh, I'm never
in Your Heart.
I'm never gonna remember the
Star
title
in My
of that
Mind,
show.
Sky in Your Heart. Also a cutie pie situation.
Oh my gosh, yes. Except these are real photos.
Right, they're not edited. Yeah.
Is it weirder for you to Photoshop couple photos?
Absolutely. The photoshopping is what makes it weird.
With your like fiance. So technically like they should
already a couple. But the fact that they don't have photos and
So anyways, the question is, when you walk into a room with this boy that you are still like you're already head over heels for.
Sure.
And then if there's a wall of your photos, are you like, cool, MBD? Or are you like...
Well, he says something about it.
Right.
He does. He's like, oh, so you really liked... No, he was like, so you really liked me this much, huh? Like, he does, like, tease him about it a little bit.
I feel like this is, like, if your favorite idol, who you have all over your bedroom walls, walked into your bedroom... Do you think they'd be cool about it?
Well, yeah, because they know you like them, right? And that's the situation, because they like each other. So, like, sure, like, they've already, like, they're already, he's like, okay, cool, I got him down and bad. Like,
I mean, I guess this makes sense, because the Thai love to just put a photo of themselves by their bedside table. If you're a listener who has a photo of yourself, I have one friend that I know who has a photo of herself, just by herself, in her apartment. But I don't know anyone who just has a single photo of themselves, like, framed, other than, like, in my childhood home. But, like, here, now, I have 0 photos of just myself.
Yeah.
And it's not even, like, a tourist photo. Like,
it's like a headshot.
Yeah, like, I understand, like, a tourist photo. Like,
there are a couple, I have a couple of me, like, in our house that's, like, it's, somebody took a picture of me snow tubing, and, like, I look really cute in that picture. Like,
you're like doing activities or you're like
and like there's a picture of me like in front of the bean in Chicago, and because like my sister literally like climbed on, like sat on the ground to take that picture in Chicago, which is gross. So like of course like we have to display that picture,
but no headshots, like glamour shots,
right?
Type of situation. Yeah, so I guess like you're like if it's a bunch of photos of him, that makes sense. It's so funny.
I mean, it's almost like walking into like your friend's house and there being pictures of like you.
I guess I did have photos. I don't know if this was a thing that you guys did in high school. Did you ever have your school photos and you like exchange them with people?
No.
And then you'd have them in your room, like your friends' school photos. Because we also had like fun photos. You had like school photos that went in the yearbook, but then you also could get like fun photos done. And we would like exchange them, and you'd have like school photos of your friends in your room.
No, my parents like bought the school photos to like give my grandparents and stuff, but like that was the extent.
I think that would be the only reason why I'd have like a single photo of a friend in my room.
Right.
Because you don't have like just one photo of like a friend of yours.
No, not unless you're like in the photo. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have like just someone by themselves.
Right. I'm looking around. I'm like, yeah, I'm in all these pictures, except for like.
Right. Those don't count.
Right. Yeah, I'm literally looking around the house being like, I don't know, do I?
Do you have any of your sisters maybe without you in it? No.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Not even me and like not even picture like my brother. Well, I do kind of like my sister's engagement announcement is on the fridge, right? And that's like her and her fiance and her husband now.
Yeah.
So like I'm not in that. So like I do have a picture of her, I guess.
But technically that was given to you, so like
right, and it's not like framed, it's like on the fridge.
I have like I have Christmas Christmas cards, but yeah.
But it's not like framed or on the fridge. But yeah, I think the only one that I have of like my actual friend.
Yeah.
And it's just a picture of my actual friend is that one.
Oh, so funny.
I think that's the only one.
But they're with somebody.
No. Oh, it didn't occur to me that the other two on the right are also my actual friends. No, I'm talking about the one in the middle.
Oh, okay.
It's my actual friend. Yeah.
That's so funny. And technically that was like kind of given to you a little.
Sort of.
You didn't take it.
I didn't take it.
Yeah. Anyways,
so no, I don't think it would weird me out. Also, I really hope it didn't weird Ben Brasier out because, like, if he ever came to my house,
you don't have a photo of Ben Brasier.
I don't have photos.
We have a nice plastered on the wall.
Yeah, I don't have any photos of Ben Brasier. Okay, if you love Ben Brasier the way that I love Ben Brasier, send me, DM us
your favorite Ben
Brasier photos so I can print them out. And I've been complaining. I've been complaining that wall is empty now.
That
is the Ben Brasier wall now. No, I'm gonna get like a bunch of Ben Brasier. It's gonna be like a YO situation. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Oh. Okay, if you're listening, tell us if you have any photos of your friends in your room by themselves. And if you have a photo of just yourself, like a beautiful photo of yourself.
Yeah.
Maybe like a graduation photo would make sense.
I never displayed any of my graduation photos.
No, me neither. I also was in, like, my friends and family were in the graduation photos with me. Oh. Not like, I didn't, well, I guess
you didn't take like graduation portraits.
I did in high school.
But you didn't in college.
I didn't in college.
I guess that is sort of like a newfangled thing. Like, you probably graduated by the time that was a trend, huh?
Oh, so like you go get, right, because we talked about this where you got your makeup done for your college graduation.
Yeah, and you go and take them not even on grad day. Like, you go and take them, like, and it's like a whole thing because you have to like fight people for like I got my undergrad at U of H, and like you have to like wait your turn to stand in front of the statue of Shasta that everybody rubs, and like you find locations to do, and you like wear your gown and you have your cap that you've decorated and all that.
The big thing when I was in high school was that you got your like studio portraits done for senior pictures, but then you hired a separate photographer to go out and take photos of you like in town or like however you wanted your senior photos.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, everyone got senior photos done that I know that I graduated high school early, so I didn't do that. But everyone that I graduated with from college did it for both my undergrad and my master's.
Wild. Anyway, side note.
Anyways, yeah, send me your favorite Ben Brasier photos.
Amazing. Okay, that's YU and Peepaw.
Yes.
Ming Kit. I love their storyline.
I think Ming Kit was way cuter in 2 Moons 2 than in 2 Moons. This is a controversial opinion.
Honestly, I don't remember.
You learn so much more about them and why their dynamic is the way it is.
I actually really loved 9 in the like P role. This was so fun because like in real life, he's so tiny and he feels so like small and
that's
just,
the character.
Cute.
That's the character. The character of Kit is written that way. Like, he's tiny, he's little.
Right, but I'm saying like the personality, like not necessarily the size, but the personality in real life is definitely like Jung 9. Whereas it's fun to see the opposite in a show.
Right.
Like a Chris Singto, right? Because in the show it's like Singto Chris.
Right, yeah. In the show it's Singto Chris. And listen, I would argue in Never Let Me Go, it's Pooh and Pond.
Oh, 100%.
So
100%.
Yeah.
I feel like IRL it's Pooh and Pond sometimes.
Maybe.
A few times.
I've watched Never Let Me Go 5 times now, you guys. So I have a lot of opinions on Never Let Me Go.
We've talked about doing this before, as doing a rewatch for our subscribers. We should do Never Let Me Go as like our rewatch.
I'll rewatch it again. I'll watch it for the 6th time. I don't even care.
I feel like we'd have so much to say.
But yes, I love Ming and Kit in this one. And I especially love Ming, so Jung, because he is just so funny. He's so brazen. He's so and cute. In probably the most iconic scene in this whole show, when he meets up with Kit and they're shopping in the bookstore, and Ming goes he puts something down and it's wind starts blowing through his hair and music starts playing, and this little cashier girl is she jaw drops staring at him. I'm yeah, that is what experiencing Jung feels like. Yes. I feel like I have talked to Jung on 2 separate occasions.
We saw him in real life.
Right. So I've done this virtually and I've done it in real life. And not so much virtually because I think I was more in work mode, podcast mode, but a little bit because I love 2 Moons too, and I was so excited about Jung, and I knew what his personality was going to be, and I knew all this. When we chatted with him in real life, him and Dunk, I fully it was a jaw drop moment. I was like, why is he talking to me? Is this okay?
He's so disarming and so nice that you don't quite understand how beautiful he is.
Honestly, the rest of the world was blacked out. Because I'm trying to remember, I'm trying to be I wonder what the other people who were standing around us thought when we were having that conversation with them.
Yeah. I have no idea.
I didn't even perceive other humans while I was talking to Jung.
There were tens of people around us.
There were so many people around us, and I legitimately don't remember perceiving any other
and there
living
people,
human beings.
There are people across from us, and I feel like somebody did take a video or a fan site photo of the interaction. And just the whole moment.
Honestly, what I will say is it is such an iconic scene because it is so real. It's so real.
Jung is such a good actor. I don't see Jung when I watch these shows that he's in, because he's so beautiful, so he definitely has the capacity to overwhelm these characters, and he fully doesn't. I really, really liked Ming and Kit at Kit's family's house. Yes. That was such a fun dynamic.
I think it's the first BL iteration of Hia.
Oh, yeah.
And remember, I mentioned this a while ago. I was I'm pretty sure the Hia thing, and it's because I had been rewatching 2 Moons too, because I wanted to see Ben. I was I missed Ben. And I realized, and I had never noticed it before, because Hia just recently has become the thing. And I was oh yeah, the Hia thing fully is explained in 2 Moons too. Yeah. And I think it's the very first iteration, because this came out before Manner of Death. Because Manner of Death was 2021, I think. Yeah. And in Manner of Death, they also use it and explain it. Yeah. And so, we all need to pay respect to our Hia roots, okay, which is 2 Moons too. And sweet Kit. And sweet angry Kit. He's an example of a character where, he's grumpy, but he's not so grumpy.
He's just so cute, though.
But he's not grumpy to everyone. This is the problem I normally have with the grumps, is that, they're mean to even their friends. Yeah. And he's not. He's sweet and fun and nice with all of his friends. He's just, grumpy at Ming because he likes Ming, and
Similar to, oh my gosh. Yeah. I was Naka. Yeah, in Bed Friends. Yeah. He's so sweet with Jade and with his sister, but he's only grumpy really to King.
Also similar to Never Let Me Go, Nung Diao.
Oh yeah.
Nung Diao is so grumpy at Pong. Yeah. But he's a soft baby angel.
To everyone else.
Yeah. And so I'm glad that we're again, pay homage to your roots, because for a while there, Tarn type was just mean to everyone. Yeah. How did that boy have friends? I don't get it. Right? And there are a lot of characters like that. Another example, this one's Cutie Pie, Leon. He's just mean to everyone, even his friends. Yeah.
He's grumpy and
why is he so grumpy all the time to everyone? Damn.
He's I'm cold personified.
That's what I dislike. But I like when they're only grumpy to the boy, because they're going through something.
Because they're trying to push the boy that they like away, so that they know that
You're
they
trying to
really like
process
him
it.
or something.
And I also love, Ming is also, listen, Ming's a little hustler, okay? Because Ming, like, getting drunk at the club and, like, being all sad, and then Kit has to take him home, but then he's not really passed out, and then he kisses Kit, and then Kit's like, is this real? And he's like, and then he, like, kicks him off the bed. It's just, like, a really cute, funny dynamic. It's really sweet and cute, and I love it.
I really liked their kiss scene at his parents' house. It was just so sweet. And it's a moment where Kit is like finally like, can I like trust this? Can I trust this relationship?
Yeah, so I really, really love Ming and Kit in this.
I don't remember anything about Ming and Kit's storyline in 2 Moons, honestly.
It was nothing right home.
I should watch a Kim Cop cut of 2 Moons to remind myself.
Well, the problem with 2 Moons is that it literally goes to, I think it's like episode 4 of 2 Moons 2, and then it ends.
That's wild.
It goes to Wayo and Pana's first kiss. So Wayo and Peepaw kiss, you know, that first kiss in Wayo's room?
Yes.
That's where 2 Moons ends.
Right, I do remember that.
So,
the drama.
Yeah, you don't get to see, like, and, oh my God, okay, another thing, this is jumping to the friend group. So, like, the friend groups, the friend dynamics in 2 Moons 2, the way that these boys play these characters is just amazing.
Yeah.
And so I really love Beam and Kit and Peepaw.
Yeah.
Because we get the flashback to high school where they're like, why are you gay? And he's like, I'm not gay. And they're like, you're gay. I really love those conversations because they're really sweet about it. They're really trying to get him to like,
it's okay to be gay.
Yeah, it's like a really, really sweet.
Yeah, the friends in this were very good.
Yeah, it's just like, it's the sweetest dynamic that they all have.
Especially for 3 lead couples, you need that friendship to ground the show.
Yeah. That's
what happened in You're My Sky, Junma Katong Fa. Some of my favorite scenes are when like I is talking to Pan, right?
Yes.
Like, and when V is being
such a sweet little friend to Boo.
Yeah, just being sweet and like
he's never dated a boy before.
Yeah, just like all the friend dynamics in that show that like the drama in the couples is.
He was the best character in that whole show.
It grounds an entire show when you have like a home base for these characters to go back to, and it's not all about the romance and like the crazy drama that tends to happen with the romance. And so I feel like those are always nice moments where you have the friend groups to like be like, you're being ridiculous.
This friend group was really fun too because we had this moment where Beam was trying to help Kit get Ming off his back. And so he was like, we're dating. And so like Beam and Kit were fake dating, but Kit didn't know that was Beam's plan, and so then Kit and Peepaw had to have this whole conversation. Peepaw was like, I think he really likes you. And they had this like whole like existential crisis over like, we have to keep up this fake dating thing, but like, oh no, does he really like you? And they had to have this whole conversation, and it was like a whole thing.
Because that was audience so funny. Have a moment where you're like, oh, does he really like him?
Does he like him? Yeah.
And then finally he's like, nah, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought that was really funny. And then, of course, similarly to 2 Moons, honestly, Ming and Wayo, sweetest friends to ever friend. And they're just so cute. And they're just the sweetest things. And I love them. And I just want to pat them on the head. And they're friends forever. And you know what's sweet about this cast? This is another example of like, you can tell this cast all genuinely were friends with each other.
Yeah.
You can tell it in You're My Sky, Junma Katong Fa. Like, I feel like you can always tell in the shows when they have a genuine bond.
Yeah.
It's the same for, like, Star Hunter shows.
Yeah. Because they're, like, besties.
Yeah. Like,
and the chemistry is there. Like, that's the thing is, like, the chemistry almost has to be more real for friend groups.
Yeah.
Because you don't have that added element of, I need to want to kiss you.
Right, of the, like, kissing.
I just need to want to be around you and trust you on a level that's, like, incredibly
And they have fun friends and they have fun together. Like Gen Y season 2, like say what you will about, and we have said what we will about Gen Y season 2.
I just saw a list where somebody listed Gen Y season 1 and 2 as like the worst shows they've ever seen. And I took such offense to that.
I mean, first of all, how dare you? Gad is in those shows, so like
Bonus
you're wrong.
Is in those shows.
But we have said many a thing about Gen Y season 2. And here's the thing. Like, so has Bonus. Like, let's be honest. Like, right? Like,
it's true.
Like, that TikTok live happened.
They understand what they did.
But the thing about Gen Y season 2 that makes it good that you keep watching for is actually the little high school friends that are now in college, God's little friend group, all these little high school boys that are now like gallivanting in college and their stupid, weird friend dynamics. That's what keeps you watching. And it's the same for Tumans too, I feel like, is you're really, really invested in them because you know them on multiple levels. Yeah. You know them on like this romantic, like boy chasing boy level, but you also know them on like friend levels, and you see them interact with like so many different people, and it's just like, oh, these actors are just so good. Okay,
last but not least, we need to wrap this up. We spent 30 minutes on Wayu Pipa, so we need to continue.
I don't understand the problem. Ben Brasier.
Fourth and Beam.
Oh, Fourth and Beam.
So Pavel as Fourth is I will say I actually kind of liked him trying to get with Wayu because I think he like
Wayo.
I know Wayu is Gen Y. I'm now in my Gen Y brain. Because he definitely plays that fine line of like, I'm concerned for you, I'm your friend.
I'm your
But also I want to bang you.
But also if this boy doesn't work out.
Yeah. I do love that Pavel got to play peak Pavel where he like rides up on his motorcycle.
Oh yes, big Pavel energy. I'm obsessed with Pavel. So I also listen. I have the same like problem. I just have a problem. I have problems.
I can't wait for Pit Babe. I feel like Pavel is going to reach his full final form.
Oh yeah.
In this series.
Oh yeah. So like, listen, I went through this during Never Let Me Go, and I went through this during Future the series. Occasionally, listen, when Pavel and Ben were gonna like fist fight, I was like, no,
I cannot wait to talk about future series. That's going to be 45 minutes of one character that's not even a lead character.
Like, listen, violence is not the answer.
But sometimes you want to be punched in the face by Cupid.
But like when they almost fought, I was like, yeah.
I'd get kicked by Palm.
Oh yeah, Palm can jump kick me any day of the week.
I'd say please and thank you.
Yeah. Just like when Pavel and Ben were gonna fight, I would stand in the middle of that. I'd be like, keep fighting, I just want to stand here.
I thought of a t-shirt idea.
Okay.
I'll show you later.
Anyways, Beam and Forth. They're funny because they get like so soft boyfriends, but accidentally.
I mean, when you get hit in the head with a hammer.
Yeah, like
that was traumatizing because I was in a construction nonprofit for 10 years, and the second that he put that hammer on the roof, I was like, it's gonna hit someone in the head. I was so like, it was driving me insane. I was like,
yeah,
he'd be dead if you got hit in the head with a hammer.
From that high up, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, they're from their initial hookup all the way to the end. Just they were a bag of laughs. Like they were
the conversation that Fourth and Beam have after that initial hookup. You're kind of as an audience like, what is happening? Like,
yeah, you're like,
is he
mad?
Is he mad he's gay? Is he mad that he's a bottom? Is he mad? What? Why is he mad?
Is he mad because he had been drinking, but they had both been drinking?
Is he mad that he liked that he was a bottom?
Is it mad that is he mad that it's Fourth because Fourth, of course, is his bestie's rival?
Right. You're like, what exactly is?
Why is he mad?
And then I love the fact that we get this like classic verse conversation where they're like, "I'm gonna make you my bottom next." Like these two are fun.
These two are
these two are a fun dynamic because you have this back and forth of like, I want to bang you, but also I don't want you to bang me. Right?
And like, you know what's funny about like Pavel is that like, listen, Pavel is a whole thirst trap, and I don't feel bad saying that because this is his persona.
Yeah.
In life.
Yes.
Pavel also is the sweetest, softest boy.
Nice. Yeah.
Like at first I was gonna make a joke like I feel like this is just Pavel in real life, but like it absolutely is not Pavel.
He's so sweet.
Pavel, I bet you would be the sweetest boyfriend in the whole world.
Yeah.
Like Pavel would be a really good boyfriend, I bet.
I mean, he kisses his co-stars as though he like is absolutely in love with them. So and I fully believe that he'd do that IRL.
He's a really nice, funny boy, and he's like kind of dorky. Yeah. Like I think a lot of people don't realize how kind of like dorky Pavel is. But, like, he makes dumb jokes, and he, like, he's really not this, like, super cool boy.
No.
He's so sweet. Yeah.
Fourth and Beam. And then you end with them, like, laying in that hospital bed together, like, snuggling and being cute boys.
Yeah.
I love that they got, like, a sweet revelation, like, a sweet resolution to, like, okay, we're okay that we're gay. It's fine.
This whole cast is just really, really outstanding. I do recommend watching this one, even if you've already watched Two Moons, because you get so much more of the world, but also I really think the actors just knock it out of the park. And
it's again, a totally different show.
And again, I'm obsessed with Baz Kim and Copter.
Yeah.
Right, so like I am obsessed with them. SB5. Right? Like I've rewatched Gen Y and Gen Y season 2, right? Like this is how much I like them.
Yeah.
But these actors really were meant for these characters. Like I fully believe. Now that being said, production company garbage. Get them out of here.
Yeah.
No.
I know. I would love if they could finish this story. Obviously, it'll never happen.
No.
Even though in BL world,
cursed. It's cursed.
In BL world, people hold on to things until they die.
It's like, cursed. Get it out of here.
Never say never. People will never let go. Like there will always be that one fan out there that's like got those like Two Moons 2 posters on the wall being like, it will happen one day.
Listen, if I ever meet Ben Brasier, you guys, recently, not that long ago, Ben Brasier replied to my tweet. And I swear to God, I cried. And like, the last time I freaked out that much was one time Jeff Satter replied to one of my tweets.
That was insane.
And I was like hyperventilating. This was the same level for me. Like Ben Brasier replied, like I tweeted about Ben and he replied to me. This is the only time I've ever interacted with Ben in the like years that I have had this like horrible simp affliction for him.
I love how we get to interview these like pretty big actors and you're like, somebody replied to my tweet.
Ben Brasier replied to my tweet. And I almost started crying. I did cry. I cried. There were tears in my eyes. I cried because Ben Brasier replied to my tweet. But if I ever get to like actually talk to Ben Brasier, I will be like, Ben, I need you to tell me what you think. Because for me, this is about their telling of the story, not anybody else's.
Right.
I will be like, just like, can you tell me what happened? And I will accept your word as gospel. Because I would accept anything Ben said to me as gospel.
If you were to talk to Ben Brasier,
I would join Ben Brasier's cult.
Oh my God. If you were to meet Ben Brasier in real life, I feel like you should just make him reenact what would happen next, but with you.
I feel like that would be traumatizing for him, and I'd never do that. But like, if I ever met Ben Brasier in real life,
is that the BL that we're gonna fund?
Let's just hope that the camera is rolling because it like. Does America's Funniest Home Videos still exist? Because that's what that should end up on.
Yes, it
is me meeting Ben Brasier.
It's like a full like cartoon where you just like go stick straight and you just topple over.
Yeah. And there will be like birds flying around my head.
I feel like there's precedent for that because you've tripped and almost fallen in front of quite a few boys that you really like.
Only 2, thank you.
That's quite,
also one of them was a BL boy.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a good time to bring this up because if you've been through this whole series Sunday, we have some unreleased interviews that we were thinking about releasing behind our Gang Baby paywall.
Yes. I feel like the Gang Baby moniker is even more relevant now that Never Let Me Go has like become a thing.
So we interviewed Kauna and Turbo. This interview is unreleased because y'all remember the audio is all messed up.
Yeah.
It also is unreleased because it's like a little embarrassing. Like we can't really handle it.
We fangirled as though like we've never fangirled before.
Kauna asked us a question and we broke. And also they introduced themselves. They said, "Hi, I'm Kauna. Hi, I'm Turbo." And then you were supposed to continue. You were supposed to be like, blah, blah, blah. We're going to play this game. No, do the stuff. And instead you just went, "You are."
And the best part about it is that it gave them more power.
Oh, they had so much power. I have never felt so small in my life.
The greatest part.
But leading up to this interview, we're walking up to them. They're already, so this is a great story. I'm just going to tell it because, again, if you've made it all the way again.
Yeah.
They're sitting on this couch, and we have huddled off to the side to fangirl. They fully saw us in plain view. We're like, okay, breathe. Okay, we have to be professional. Yeah. Okay, what are we going to do?
There are other actors in the room.
Oh, yeah. But we're standing there next to them, panicking. And
our translator, who we had fully met that day, like once before, but mostly that day, was like...
He was like, "I'm so sorry." Yeah. And so we finish fangirling. We're like, okay, we're going to do this. I start walking up to them and I trip on something and I fall, and Kauna like reaches out as though he's gonna help me, and I right myself and I'm fine. And it was pointed out to me that I almost had a fall kiss.
I'm so sorry.
And I fixed it myself. Anyways, so yeah, if I ever met Ben Brasier, it would be like there's precedent for me to like fall over. Also, one time I met my like K-pop idol group and I like fell on the table and like one of the boys had to save me. It was really embarrassing. And then we saw them the next night and I'm like skipping up to the table and he fully pulls the table back. Like he saw me. He was traumatized from the incident.
Yeah.
Would you guys want to watch that interview?
He'll never forget you.
That's the
best part. He'll be like that crazy white girl that almost fell on me.
And you know what? Kauna and Turbo will never forget me either for falling down.
I mean, also we traumatized them because they had 2 appearances one day right before we left. Our flight was delayed, and we got to see them like, twice in one day.
We went to both appearances in
we
the
didn't
same
talk
day.
to them. We were like, no.
Kauna like tried to say hello to us, and we were like, we don't know you.
Please
this is like we're in fan. Like this is our fan time. Please,
we're not real
allow
people.
us some privacy in this trying time.
Somebody even tried to get us like to give them to us to be like.
Oh yeah, one of the organizers of one of the events was like, "Would you guys?" Because we were pretty embarrassing. We sat in the front row, and like I had a physical breakdown. And so, like, we were pretty obvious what we were there for. Yeah. And one of the organizers of the events was like, "Would you like to take a picture with them?" We were like, no.
We're like, we've already talked about it.
We were like, it's so embarrassing because we, like, full. So, yeah, Ben Brasier, if I ever met him, let's hope the cameras are rolling.
I'll need a
and
new
it'll
co-host.
Go on America's Funniest Home Videos.
You'll follow
if you are a gang baby or if you would like to become a gang baby and see these unreleased interviews that we have, comment. Also, don't forget, DM me your favorite Ben Brasier photos so I can create my own YO wall.
There's so much in this episode. I love it. This has been Let's Talk BL. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow all things Let's Talk BL at Let's Talk BL.